Welcome everyone. Welcome to another day of BA AGILE SCRUM. Uh, Today is the day when we will be finishing most of the item related to Scrum Master. And tomorrow we are targeting to transition into business analysis. So we'll continue with this and let's start with a quick reminder. That's gonna be a quick code of honor that I'm going to share with you all, and stay tuned for this. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know once you get to see my screen. Just say yes if you all can see that. So, yeah. Okay, I believe that you guys can see my screen. Yep.
Yes, we can
Yes.
Yeah,
see.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for quick confirmation. So we all know that we need to abide by with these code of honor. These are the guidelines, and you can see this are the consent for you with yourself. The very first one that says that because Agile is full of ceremonies, you need to show up live, be on time, remain punctual, remain highly committed. In case you are not practitioner of it, considering this training itself as a project will help you to, um, you know, uh, inculcate these traits for longer term. And uh, once you can showcase these here, it will be quite easy for you to, replicate once you get placed. Um, and this is also needed because it is said that how you do anything is how you do everything. You chose to learn, you became a student, and we want you to be the full stack students who do all the assignments, do self research, repeat what you learn. I'm glad that many of you are doing the assignments. You can see that whether you can apply the another two elements too. The third one, when you do and finish what you start and you complete, you hit the success and you can take the full responsibility of that. But when you don't do what is asked, or you finish in midway, you may hit the failure. So you need to take the full responsibility of that too. When you acknowledge this, embrace this, you may go back and accept it, and then only you may correct it, and you would realize that failure was not a failure, that became trail to the success. And for this, you need to have a concrete mindset. The very first one is inspired from lean Kaizen, means continuous improvement. And for that, you need to have the learning mindset. More learning minded you will become, you will find yourself growing more positively. More positive minded you will become, you will find yourself going more complaint free, in a way that you can deliver any project with the stringent timeline, or even with the lack of resources. And more you do that, you may find yourself getting loaded in gratitude that leads to the highest level of productivity. And the fifth one that says that start for achieving these all with the increased level of receptivity. And for that, I have been recommending you all to participate in a 30 days challenge. What is it all about? I have already explained in day one. Kindly refer to that. And for any new learning, always remember to start those new learning with this framework, using golden quadrant of learning that comes with four steps. The very first one is declaration with the anchor. What is declaration and anchor? I already have spoken in day one's recording. Kindly refer to that. And then take a deep dive into deep learning. And while you have learned what you wanted to, then make sure that you are drawing using pen and paper only after 24 hours by recalling from your memory. And you could do that, then go back, flaunt those drawing into the summary. You may just look at those drawing and flaunt back, stating that these all you are going to summarize, and then start summarizing. And summarize in a way that even 5 years old can understand, making sure that those summary is not more than 3 minutes and minimum up to 90 seconds. And so let's get started with these four step over here. The very first one will do, and second will do here, third and fourth you have been doing at your end. Kindly do so. So what we are going to declare and using the anchor, as I have told you the entire science behind it. So what I'm going to do is that I'll be calling the anchor. I'll be just putting anchor. I'll be calling one, two, three, and self hi-fi. You are going to replicate this, and then I'm going to repeat the selected statement. I'm going to read the selected statement, and you are going to repeat it after me. You are going to model me entirely. So can you all see the selected statement? Just unmute yourself and say yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Kindly model me now.
Yes.
Thank you. One, two, three, and clap and repeat. I am a quick learner.
I am
I'm
a
a
quick
quick
I'm a
learner.
learner.
quick
Quick learner.
learner.
What others can learn and master,
What
What
others
others
What
can
else
can
can
learn
learn
and
learn and
and
master,
master?
master,
I too can do that.
I
I
I
can
too
too
do
can
that.
can
do
do
that.
that.
One more time with the next statement. One, two, three, and clap and repeat. Because I'm a quick learner,
Because I
Because
am a
I'm
quick
a
Because I'm a
learner.
quick
Because I'm a
learner.
quick learner.
today's learning is going to be
Today learning is
today's
Today's
going to
learning
be
is
Learning is
going
going
to
to be
be
super duper easy to me.
super
super
duper
duper
easy
super
to
easy
me.
to me.
Yes, it is going to be because you said so. And remember, uh, on the sixth, that you need to be a giver, keeping ego away on the path of learning that makes you more spiritually grounded. When I say spiritually
Absolutely.
grounded on the path of growth, it means that your happiness level enhances, and
Mm.
happiness is today's new productivity, and that's the demand of the corporate.
Mm.
And while you do so, uh, just make sure you don't note. Um also make also make sure that when you are here learning, you are not just learning, you also get placed, and while you want to get placed, you are also earning more of it. And it is said that what you want more of, you must start giving away the portion of. And for that very reason, make sure, in case you are not earning today, can you have at least the intention of give away when you get placed, and you can give away 5% of 10% you're earning to the causes wherever you believe in. Causes could be, donating into orphanages, feeding hungry children, donating into old age home, or in temple, churches, mosque, gurudwara, wherever you believe in. And why? Because when you give, you grow. When you receive, you may survive. And I'm sure that none of you are here just for the survival, but for the growth for sure. And while you do so, remember to appreciate what you do, what others do for you. And even it doesn't happen initially, seem like helping you back, continue to do so, because it's said that what you appreciate appreciates you back. And how we are going to remain connected starting from Sunday to Saturday. Sunday and Monday we are going to meet for technical session at 10 p.m. EST. Don't miss, this is the gateway of your placement. That is on Tuesday and Thursday. You are going to attend compulsorily this RRP session. That's the reference ready resume preparation. You are going to show up these meetings in the RRP sessions until you get placed. So take a note of it, because these sessions are bound to enhance your visibility, that strengthens your credibility, and that improves your marketability. And while you are going to do this, remember, after attending Sundays and technical session, Wednesday you are going to do the assignment from the learning of Sunday, be it said or unsaid. Friday you are going to do assignment from the learning of Monday, and Saturday you still have not completed assignment. Kindly go ahead, do this now at least, and then repeat whatever you have learned. And while you are repeating that, remember, I'm sharing the recordings with you all, then I need to receive your comment into that. So please hit your likes. That will let me know that how many of you are rewatching them. That's number one. Number two, also put your comment, please, because I need to know that you are referring that. In comment, what you can put, you can simply tagging or adding hashtag replay. That is enough for me to know that you are interacting with that. Otherwise, there is no point for me to share those recording, taking effort, and creating those recording and sharing it back if it is not being even referred and no engagement in that. So please make sure that you are doing that. So this is how we are going to remain connected. So I believe that when I have reiterated, you have understood it. So are we ready for getting started from where we had left off? Please say yes if you're ready.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you for your responses. So before we begin, let me quickly know, anyone here attending for the very, very first time? Anyone here for the very first time? You're attending it live? All right, I'll take this as no. Many of you might have uh, joined earlier, so let me continue. Last time, based on your summary, I'm going to speak up before I share the slides with you all, and you can take a note in case this is a new for you or this you are hearing for the first time, although many of you might be knowing it already. So, when we say sprint is okay, part of the scrum, but sprint actually is a small time duration. Okay, so always when we talk about sprint, make sure you are aware that we are talking about the time duration. So this is one thing. Second, when we have last time spoken about three types of DoD. So the easiest way to understand when the stringent DoD, mature DoD, or you know uh, all these three
Initial.
DoD, initial
Sure.
DoD, we are talking about. So you know it very well what all goes inside stringent one, or all. So where everything is uh, all type of testing is there. So this happen when your product is ready for UAT. Okay, so when your product is ready for UAT, you do all those activity that you have learned into the third type of DoD. In the second type of the EOD, uh, is okay to incorporate all those activity what came under the second column, and that was for SIT. You know these phases SIT and UAT. What does it mean? Yes, no.
Yes. Yeah.
UAT is user acceptance testing.
Right. So while user acceptance testing is there, so you need to know that these all is required while UAT is there. So let me quickly share what exactly I'm referring to. So I am referring to just give me a second. Mhm. I'm going to quickly share my screen with you all. Yeah. S- Okay. So I am referring to this is your stringent DoD. That is when your product is getting ready for UAT. This is mature DoD. That is, these all activities will be done when your product is ready for SIT. This is initial DoD when your product is getting ready for initial level of testing. Okay, just say for example, it is just any build deployment. Okay, and there we can make sure that these all are minimum criteria which is being performed. So you can say that for initial testing or up to regression testing, initial DoDs are followed, mature DoD for SIT, stringent DoD, these all things has to be completed. That is under UAD. That is under UAD? Is it clear, everyone? Any question around it?
What is SIT?
SIT is system integration testing.
Integration.
So there are
Got it. Thank you.
level of testings. So that starts from where the product is getting developed, when it is getting designed. One person. So let me do this for you so that I believe that may go more easy for you. So let me draw this for you. Okay, so understand what exactly happens is uh, initially developers develop this on their product. They develop it at their local, and when they create on their local machine, they perform a quick testing by themselves. These kind of a testing is called as unit testing. What kind of testing it is called as?
Unit testing.
Unit
Unit
testing.
testing.
So with this unit testing, they have to also make sure that gets accessible by all the developers, because if they want the peer review to happen and from their machine too, so they need to make sure that there should be a common place from where all the products or modules of those products can be accessed. So they make it available for the entire development team, and that environment is called as what environment? Who can tell me?
Development.
Yes, you are right. It's a development environment. So that is when it passes by and everyone says that okay, we find that in development environment this is making sense, this is working fine. They need to make sure that it has to be graduated further into what testing uh, environment. In what environment, everyone?
Testing environment.
Testing
Testing
environment.
environment, or call it as a test environment. So where even testers starts at initial level accessing them every single component, and they perform very different kind of a testing over here. That could be component testing, or that could be you know regression testing, or that could be integration testing. But here couple of modules may get integrated, but when all the modules almost get ready, they have to be graduated. This build has to be deployed towards when the entire system is integrated testing. So that is called SIT. What it is called as?
SIT.
SIT means entire system is integrated, and that's the reason this is a system integration testing environment. And once this is passed by your entire testing team, then it is made sure that it is ready for UAT, means unit means user acceptance testing environment. Okay, so that's the reason this happens at customer place, where customer is also involved in this testing. So even from vendors and business analyst or customers or the testers, senior testers, make sure that they are available at customer's location, and this testing is performed, to which we call it as UAT. What kind of testing we do here, everyone?
UAT.
UAT means
UAT.
means
User
Acceptance
acceptance
testing.
testing.
testing. That's right. And while this is happening over here, I mean, if it is passed, it means that it is go live. I mean, this is live environment, like your Amazon.com is there, and this is the live environment. But just between these two, one thing happens. So that we make sure that anything which hinders or anything which may cause any problem over here in this UAT environment, so we will make sure the live environment has to be made sure that it is mocked up. It means that it is mirror environment is ready, to which we may call it as a uh, to this environment we also call as a production environment. What we call it as?
Production environment.
Production environment.
Production environment. In fact, you can consider that this is coming after UAT is accepted, so it is initiated into the market. Okay, and we make sure that just before production we have the mock production environment, where we will be making sure that its mirror environment is there, a mock environment is there. So that we need to remember. So this is the entire phase that you can remember, that this is the level of the graduation start from the local machine to the production. This is the journey a product or a product generally maintains, or product generally undergo. Okay, is it clear, everyone? So many of you might be knowing this all, but for many of you might be new. Is it clear, everyone, what all kind of a testing goes under? Yes,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Fantastic. So while you are well aware of this, let's continue. We have been talking enough about types of DODs and all, but we can't keep it aside that to which we call it as the we are working continuously on the product backlog. So product backlog, you know that this by product owner, we need to manage it every single time when we are making ready for sprint planning or for sprint outcome. So we need to see that these are managed well by product owner. So you can imagine this product backlog just like an iceberg, where highest prioritized item will be visible at the top always, from where product owner is making sure that he is making sure that highest job is done first, and that's the reason that goes and take the place when it comes to ordering them. So can you all see this iceberg on your screen? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. So this easily indicates that low priority item will go down. It means that these are the future releases, and for the immediate iteration, the highest item will be always on top. So I want someone to read the first bullet point on this screen, please.
The
The
product
product
backlog is
backlog
owned
is
by a
owned by a
product
product
owner
owner.
and reviewed during the sprint planning meeting.
Yeah. So you also need to know that when it happens. So you know very much about it, that it's done by product owner. And before we take this under the sprint planning, it has to be reviewed for sure. Can you also read the second for me, please?
It's important that product owners describe the tasks in clear, customer-focused language without technical specifications.
Yeah. Continue with the third and fourth.
All product backlog items are estimated by developers. Their estimations determine the number of items that will be selected for the upcoming sprint.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So understand, it's product owner who has to make sure that everyone understand what is going to come into the sprint planning meeting. In fact, this is the time when everyone is going to estimate, give their estimation. Now, there is a technique that how these estimations are taken up. We will be looking at it very, very soon. But for now, you need to understand that estimation can be only given but is crystal clear, means what to be done, when to be done, and how long it is going to take in reality. If that assessment go well, then you can give your estimation well. Okay. And yeah, so that's the bit of the product backlogs, um, responsibility you can consider, making sure that everyone understand and translate customers expectation into easily understandable manner to the entire team, making sure that your team is ready to add value, and they are able to give the right estimation, and easily acceptable estimation for your product backlog. So let's continue to understand, even if you know what is it. So we'll go more deeper into that. I want someone else now to read the first bullet point.
The product backlog is a list of functionalities, technical requirements, enhancements that are maintained and managed by the product owner.
Can you also read the second one?
If something is missing from the product backlog, it doesn't exist. So if a product exists, its product backlog also exists.
Yeah, so I have already talked about it in the past as well. So product backlog, when we say list of the functionalities requirements. So someone also said that product backlog are the in fact it is the group of the user story. That's right. Epic is the group of user story. Someone said that. So yes, so multiple epics goes inside the product backlog. You make sure that you are breaking down into the multiple requirement, and where you have listed all the enhancement features and every single thing that will become the part of those product backlog. And until if your product backlog is there, product exists. In fact, the work is going on onto the product backlog, and it is said that product backlog is never complete. Why never complete? If it is complete, your project is not there. Okay, so and as someone also had said that, as a business analyst or product owner, you are making sure that uh, work is always coming from customers, and for that, you are able to able to uh, create the urge of having more upgradation with them. So you focus on the changes also, and if you focus on those changes, that continues to uh, you know continues to be the dynamic, and as per the demand and as per the technology, it continues to require to be upgraded. So for that very reason, you are making sure that that dynamic requirement is coming into place. So this is what the third and fourth one says. That I want someone to read the last bullet point for me, please.
It
It
changes
change constantly
constantly.
during our work progress because new idea, public functionality appears. Some of them change or move up or down the backlog list.
Yeah. So you know now that we are picking up all the prioritized item, and making sure that these are becoming the part of the sprint planning meeting, so that we start working on them. And every single time you will see the stack of those product backlog are continues to change. Okay, so those stack means from down to up it goes, and the highest, the topmost weighted, highest priority item goes first into the product backlog. And that's the reason you will find that it continues to move up or down. Why sometime down? Because during the sprint planning meeting we decide that some item we will do in the next planning meeting or next sprint. We may pick the four item initially. We can go for the sprint planning meeting. In the sprint planning meeting, we come to know that we need to do this later, and that's when it come back to the product backlog stack. And then you will find, okay, the entire stack is getting down further. It is moving up, and during that time we decide there's some another decision to be done. So the in this stack, the chosen or which was initially highest priority of item, that may go down later. So this may happen into the fast changing product backlog. So that requires to be refined further every single time by business analyst, even though it is translated well in the customer focused language to be understood by every single staff member. You business analyst will make sure that these are prioritizing well in time, estimation is taking well in time, that product owner is making sure, but at the same time is making sure the team who is involved for refining it are doing the right grooming for it. So can someone read the first bullet point on this?
The product backlog is a prioritized set of requests for desired product functionality and contains all necessary items to complete the product release.
Yeah, could you please read the second one too?
The product backlog breaks down requests into a series of tasks for the development team and is essential component to guide your agile development team.
Yeah, thank you. So you are making sure that these all, product backlog is well stacked, and you have to have this intent to make sure that entire backlog item is broken down in a manner that the actual picture gets converted into the task actionable item. It does not have to just be there as a part of the theory, okay, where you are just talking about epics, or multiple user stories part of one epic or something. Further, what will happen, it will get translated into the features enhancement or action to be done, or from one user story, who will be doing what all activity, means task and subtask. So everything will get clear while you are refining this product backlog. So what else comes inside it? So I want someone to read the first bullet point in this.
As a
As a
product owner,
product
you are
owner, you're
responsible for
responsible.
product backlog management to maximize the value of the product.
Continue with the second.
The product backlog is a single source of truth which contains all the work to be done on the product.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So now here you are a bit more clearer that as a product owner, you are the responsible person for entire product backlog management. And why you need to manage it? Because you are not just working to get the task done. You are also working that how the maximum value you are going to add and bring to those those product backlogs. And for that you are making sure that you are providing enough of the information in these product backlog, because ultimately it has to be considered as the single source of the truth. I mean, this is the Bible. I mean, anyone can go ahead and will make sure that all those information goes inside it. You're making sure while you are creating those epics, you are attaching, even if you need to attach or add some documents, you are just making sure it is getting added. Please, someone read the third bullet point for me.
You will have to
You will
make some choices about what to build first and what to build later, but also what to build and what not to build.
Yeah, please read the next one also.
The main tool to manage the product and gain predictability is the backlog.
Yeah. So when we say backlog, initially it is, you can understand the item is not yet done. Okay. This is item to be worked upon. And while you are making sure these are the items which needs to be worked upon, and when it is done, then you are knowing it pretty well that this is the done items. And you are making sure you are identifying the priority. Okay. And while you are identifying the priority, it means that you are well aware that what customer is needing when it comes to at the first place, and based on that you are deciding the priority. But at the same time, it may happen you need to understand what is there in the feature. So as a product owner, you have discussed this already with your customer, and business analyst is making sure that this has followed the order very very well. S- so making sure that enough of the information is going inside, making sure you are well aware of the scope. When we say scope, means what all will go inside the uh, iteration or in the release, but also you're making sure something which has not gone for the iteration or for the which is not to be built, it is not getting built. Just allow me some few seconds, everyone. uh, just I'm taking some time. Okay. Okay, never mind. So just make sure that you are not scribing on the screen, please. Anything, I'll just adjust it later, making sure that unknowingly you are not able to do this. So with this note, let's continue. And I want someone to read the last second last bullet point for me, please.
But if it is grow uncontrollably, the value it provides diminish.
Can you continue with the
And
last?
an unreasonably long backlog is a major pain point for many agile teams.
Yeah. So when we are saying that when it grows uncontrollably, the value it provides diminishes. To make sure that none of the backlog is becoming the longer one. You're making sure initially that every single piece of a large requirement is broken down into the multiple pieces of the smallest but highest weighted. Uh, priority. It means that will be done as a first job. Okay, so making if you are attaching a longer requirement, I mean the large requirement in a way that you want to finish it one, that will become pain in the neck. So making sure that it is filtered well, it is addressed well, and it has been defined well, uh, so that it becomes consumable, and it becomes achievable, and you can finish it in a defined timeline as well. Otherwise it will grow beyond the time, and you will make sure that in the existing sprint it is becoming challenge to address it. So for that very reason, when you are making sure that you are addressing these all action item, then you are able to manage it, and make sure that while you will have the enough of the time as a business analyst as well. If you are a business analyst, you will make sure that the moment you have you have done your part of A&D, that is analysis and design, you will be having a few of the hour every single day where you can start thinking of the next release, where some of the backlog item can be groomed further, to which we will be calling it as a backlog grooming or refinement, where uh, you are expanding those user stories, and make sure that it will made available when next time will be also understandable, and self when it is self read, it will be quite evident from your explanation inside the user story by every staff member. So that as a business analyst will make sure that whenever if you have the space of the time, I mean you have enough of the time in the existing sprint, you can refine it for the further usage. So when we say, you are very much well aware that how does it look like in product backlog, everything is stacked. The highest required item goes into the sprint planning, where you start implementing it every single day for maximum time. So maximum time is when we say 20 days, it means that it has 4 weeks time goes inside. You are talking about every single day what all the implementation happen, and you make sure things are available for it. So I want someone to read this three bullet point for me, first, second, and third for me, please.
Tips for product owners on product backlog management. Set priorities. Keep the product backlog manageable. Review the backlog periodically.
Fine. Thank you so much. So these are the few tips for the product backlog management. As a product owner, you make sure that you have prioritized everything, and you're not making sure that you have not gone through some item. Okay. And when you can do that, it means that you will be making sure that these items are manageable. I gave you the example of making it sure that it is not the large one. That's when you make sure that it is achievable, it is manageable. Okay, and to know that whether it is manageable or not, it may happen that as a product owner you will have to go through few of the item again and again, and which you are very much sure that you are not going to do. So you make sure that these are not there listed into the product backlog, and that's when it says that delete the items you will never do. And a few items which you see that you are not ready, you can also discard those. Say, for example, you have some challenges with your capability, you are going to inform to customer. It may take time, or you're not going to do that. So with the mutual agreement with the customer, you are going to take the action. Even customer says that, okay, we don't feel the availability of this will hamper the progress, you may take it off. Otherwise, making sure you build the capability. And any task, as I said earlier, that do not add task unless you plan to do them soon. So again, it goes with the consent with the customer. If you are going to do it, then only it has to be the part of the list. And when you are adding, removing, making sure you keep on prioritizing them. You make sure that you have the time for doing it, and you have space for doing it, and you have strength for doing it, so that you are making sure. And product backlog will be always one in which everything you know that is going to get integrated tomorrow. And you are also making sure you are not doing it all alone. For that, you have the entire team, and that's when you continue to revise and review the timeline to make sure whether it can be achievable, it can be achieved or not. Okay, I want someone to read the first bullet point for me, please.
Not everything has to be a user story.
Yeah, go ahead with next.
Know what is on your product backlog.
Continue.
Recorder the recorder the Reorder the product backlog continuously. The product backlog shouldn't be complete. Focus on what and why. Put it on the wall. There is more than customer or business value. Keep stakeholders updated.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So every single time when I say that you have to have the multiple epics when it become to uh, product backlog, not necessarily every single time you will find that for every single thing we are going to write the user story. Sometimes this is a simple task can be the part of the direct, epic. Say for example, you know that in every sprint we have to deploy or release the build. So releasing the build is also one activity that will always the part of the product backlog, and make sure that is assigned to the right team. And for that you really don't need to write the user story, because everything does not have to be that. Okay, this is a simple activity might be assigned to the DevOps team, and they are very well knowing that they need to do. And if you are making sure that every single item has to be considered to be the part of product backlog, whether it is there, maximum will be the user story, but not everything will be the user story, and enough of the task is listed as well. And with this no with this approach, you are knowing well that what is your product backlog, how it is impacting any other existing item. Sometime you need to while you are reprioritizing, sometime you are prioritizing, you are reviewing them, and you may feel like okay, you need to reorder your product backlog, feel free to do so. Okay, sometime you will find these are simple card like in Jira. Last time when I let you go through that how you create in Jira, you remember that one day I was I demonstrated in literally in Jira that how you will be creating epic or user story. Do you remember that? Yes, no?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
there you will find if you are literally using the paid version, you will find that every single ceremonies are also listed. Okay, and there you will find that all the tickets are listed well, and those list tickets can be dragged and dropped and can be reordered accordingly, and that will take a place that understanding that which is becoming of the highest priority. So that is the uh, you know place where you can visualize your entire product backlog too. And remember to focus on what and why, that why you are doing, so that your what exactly you need to do will be becoming more clearer. And when if you are using the kanban board where you will see the multiple um, uh, items listed, like it appears like this simple kanban board where your item in the to do list, and then your item into um, doing list, and then your item is in the review. So here it will be always to do, okay, and another column will be doing, the another can be the review, okay, and the last one will be done. So your entire focus will be things are moving from left to right, okay. You will find here the uh, multiple tickets are there, and this will continue to move from left to right. Okay, so this is how you are making sure things are moving faster and getting done. And if any changes comes in, if you think that you cannot add the value, you're going to inform to your customer, and while you do so, any new information is coming from the customer, you are making sure it is being done and updated by the customer. While this happens, uh, okay, excuse me. Yeah. While this happens, you get to see that for this, your team is there, that is cross-functional and self-organizing team. And with this note, I just would like to request Prerna, if you can take the another slide.
Yes, Guru, I'm there and I'm also joining from my laptop. So give me 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll start explaining till the time I'll also, take the control from your machine. Yeah.
Sure, Prerna.
Give me a second. Yeah. So we are starting a very interesting and I would say very useful topic uh, from the point of understanding Agile and Scrum methodology. So what it says is self-organizing and cross-functional team. Okay. As it mean, can anybody from just the wordings explain what do they understand when we say self-organizing and cross-functional team? What do you think?
Self-organizing meaning they don't have like a typical boss. They take responsibility among themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And cross-functioning team means?
Uh, it's a group of people with different kind of skills and expertise, where they come together, use those skills to get the final product delivered, or use to get the whatever the work done.
Very, very well explained. Absolutely right. Both of you are on point. So first thing, as you mentioned, it does mean that the team do not have any, I would say, micromanagement required. Everybody understands micromanagement. Micromanagement means we don't want, anybody constantly guiding us or constantly telling us what to do. So we don't need that for this team, because the team has, I would say, highly talented, highly skilled, mature, experienced team members who know how to do things, what to work, and know how to go ahead about it. Yeah. So first of all, that means self-organizing, and as cross-functional means, as rightly mentioned, it means that the team does not have the team members, not the only the team members not only have one or a single skill, but they do have multiple skills, as in, one second. Gaurav, I have requested the control. Will you please give me? Yeah, thank you so much. So what does this mean? That for example, in our school days, we used to have a teacher who was uh, basically a, I would say, sports teacher, okay, who was a person who was a teacher who used to teach about sports and physical sports and all other activities. But then all of a sudden, one day you realize your maths teacher is not available, okay, and that teacher is taking your maths class. Now that is honestly a shock to the kids, because they generally don't expect that. But now here, what you see, the same person is cross skilled as in they have, he or she has multiple skills. So what happens is they can be utilized, or their skills can be utilized for different kind of projects and different kind of work. Okay. Make sense? Any doubt in this understanding, guys? Yes, no?
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So can I request three different people to read out the text mentioned here, please?
A
As
self-organizing team is one that does not depend on or wait for a manager to assign work. Instead, these teams find their own work and manage the associated responsibilities and timelines.
Cross-functional teams include all competencies and domain knowledge without depending on others outside the team.
a cross-functional team is a group of people with different functional expertise working toward a common goal.
Yes. So do you realize what we explained just now that has been mentioned here? Like, first of all, you don't need any person or any senior or any manager to manage your work to tell you what to do. We all are, as a team, self-organized, highly motivated, and matured enough to know what we have to work on. First thing first. Second, cross-functional means they have the competencies, skill, and domain knowledge. Uh, sorry, I would say from multiple, I would say areas. So it's not only that one person is only equipped in one technology or one domain, but they have more than one domain, one area's understanding and knowledge of domain, more than one skill technically. So that's why we say cross-functional team. Last but not the least, these are the people who are expertise in expertise in working in different sections, different domain. But the main and the important point is important word I will say is towards a common goal. That means all of us in this batch also, we all have different educational and experience background, right? Yes or no, all of us?
Yes.
Yes.
But then what is our common goal? All of our common goal here at Guruschools, that to get each and every one of you placed, isn't it? So for that goal, we are working. So apparently, we are also cross-skilled and, I would say we are also like a agile team wherein all of our skills are different and we don't need any micromanagement, as well as we are working towards a common goal. Yeah. Any doubts in this? We just discussed in detail. Yeah. Anybody having any doubts?
No doubts.
No, no.
No doubts, all of you. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah. These are the, some additional pointers on the same understanding. I'll just request different people who have not read yet, they can read it out. Go ahead.
Self-organizing and cross-functional teams. The term self-organizing has been interpreted in variety of ways. A self-organizing team doesn't need a manager. A self-organizing team doesn't need a project manager. A self-organizing team forms itself without any outside interference. A self-organizing team doesn't answer to anyone.
Yes. Thank you so much for reading it out. So see, these are the similar points what we just discussed. Doesn't need a manager, doesn't need a project manager, forms itself without any outside interference. So, like towards the end of our session, now we'll be completing agile and then we'll step into BA. But after completion of business analysis track, we give you a project as a team. So while you're working on that project, you guys automatically, I would say, or on your own, start working on it in agile mode, because we have learned agile in so much of detail that you all understand and realize how to implement it. So you don't need any outside interference. At that time, me and Gaurav doesn't, we don't tell you that, okay, do like this and, take stand-up meetings or have discussions and stuff like that. But you already implement those kind of things because you have learned this over a period of time. So that's the advantage. So as a team, even as an agile or scrum team, we don't need anybody, any outsider, especially to tell you what to do. And last but not the least, self-organizing team doesn't answer to anyone. What does this mean in normal English? What does this mean, guys? When we say doesn't answer to anyone, what is your understanding?
Means they don't have any superpower or a manager to whom they have to answer, or to whom
Yes.
they are abide by to just answer the question what is done, what is not, or
Yes, absolutely right. So here, if you can see the image, it says highly motivated and generate most value. So, you're dealing with a set of, I would say, very valuable, matured, experienced, skilled individuals. So as a team, they are, I would say, top of their group, while we say, from professional skill point of view. So that's why you don't need to have any kind of micromanagement. And then because they are so good at their work, they are not answerable to anyone. Nobody can come and question their integrity or their work ethics. Because first of all, I know you have hired them because of the skill set. Make sense? Yeah, easy to understand, guys. Yes, no?
Yeah, does
Yes.
it also
Yeah.
means there is no hierarchy, right?
No, there is no hierarchy. Trust me on
Okay.
that. There is no only the hierarchy. This is not the word that we can. There is only difference in visibility. I can use that word visibility. That as a product owner, you have visibility more from the customer and from the senior management than a normal developer, because a normal developer will not interact with senior management on daily basis. But hierarchy point of view, absolutely right. There is no superior or inferior or something like that in this team. Everybody is treats equal, and everybody is treats as per their work and as one, as a team. So yes.
But I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
The In this team, do we include Scrum Master? Because they are indirectly or directly accountable, to their, because Scrum Master and product owner and the stakeholders, the customer or the clients, whatever.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so
So
they will
when
have to
we
answer the Scrum Master, right?
see, honestly speaking, now the Scrum Master also has a very unique role. It is he or she is called as a servant leader. It's a very
Right,
weird
right.
term, but it is because apparently they are supposed to lead the team, but then they are more like a caregiver, or I would say they're there to take care of the team than to ask them questions.
Got
They
it.
are more like in a way foster parents, if I have to call it, because their whole intention is to ensure that the team is not facing any issue, or in case if they're facing issue, to channelize and to guide them. See, there is a sense of responsibility with them, he or she, whatever they have, but that doesn't mean they can micromanage, and they don't. Because if you start micromanagement, it is not agile. Because if a product owner or scrum master starts investigating and starts interfering in team's work, when they will do their own work, right? They also have their own set of work. Like product owners generally, I'm not sure I have mentioned on, but generally one product owner has been assigned multiple projects. So it's not only that they're sitting on one project and working on that. So their bandwidth is kind of already distributed. So they have a lot of their things at hand to be completed, whereas scrum master is there to see, they have the entire team to look after. So his bucket is always full. His to-do list, like, guide this person or check on this, Where are we from the agile sprint delivery point of view? Are we achieving our goal? And then not only from a technical point of view, if somebody is not available physically, there is absenteeism, there is some technical challenge. So remember, everybody have their hands full. So that's why they are not in a position to do micromanagement. Neither they are supposed to do micromanagement over anybody. Does this answer your question?
Absolutely. I mean, like you, I'm sure you, despite they're working in an agile environment, or
Mm-hmm.
morally right, whatever, I'm sure the problems do happen. One of the team members somewhere lacks or not, causing problems for other team member. It happens.
See, it is like, I will not say that they are intentional. Like, for example, if somebody has a personal emergency at home, or somebody is sick, there are unfortunate, like in my personal scenario, my son wasn't well, so I had to be away from office for 4 consecutive days all of a sudden, right? So that time, even my deliverables were impacted, and others had to step in and complete, because I just couldn't leave my personal situation and go back to work, right? So such
Got
scenarios
it.
are taken care of. That's why we have the agile team. So in this scenario, if the absenteeism or situation is for a lesser days or smaller period of time, then you can manage within your team. But if you could see that the team member will not be available in that scenario, yes, you will have to replace, or you will have to borrow some other resource from other projects. So these kind of things keep happening because we are all humans, and there are situations like this to deal with. And that is why Scrum Master is always tied up in some or the other things. So that's why they are not willing to either, and not supposed to get into micromanagement. Yep.
Got it. Thank you so much. Okay.
Welcome. Yeah. Let's move to next slide. And I'm sorry for in between coughs and little weirdness in my voice. This is all cough and cold happening here. Yes, let's understand this more in detail, more or less on similar understanding, but no, trying to get the gist out of this overall, I would say, work method or working culture. So yeah, can I request 4 different people who haven't spoken till now to read it out? Go ahead.
Cross-functional team has access to all the skills necessary to effectively deliver value to customers. A cross-functional team does not have to consist of all generalists. A cross-functional team also does not have to consist of all specialists. You will generally find that a cross-functional team consists of a mix of people who have some knowledge about a lot of different areas, and others who are stronger in one area but are willing to help out in other areas where needed and when they can.
Yes, that's what we were discussing. So first of all, see, it is very rightly mentioned. Cross-functional team has access to all the skills necessary to effectively deliver value to the customer. So here they are not saying that they have the skills. What they are saying, they have access to all the skills, all the necessary skills. That means if there is some additional technical, I would say, complexity, or something, some new technology needs to be implemented. So in that scenario, we are not expecting that everybody should know that from the scratch. But what we are expecting that they should have the access to learn that technology and to get a grip on that. Get my point? See the choice of words is very apt. It is very strategically mentioned. So what they say, they have access to all the skills necessary. That means if you as a team member are not able to resolve that right away, but you have the time, or you can learn it, or you can take an understanding and start implementing that. Okay, because see, is sorry, it's humanly impossible to have all the skills at all the time, right? Especially in today's fast-paced technology world, things are changing, or new things are getting introduced so rapidly. It's really nearly impossible to know everything at once. So that's why we are saying that they have the access to all the necessary skills. Okay. Next point, it does not have consist all the journalists, and it does not also consist all the specialists. Now, this is a very interesting. These both the lines are quite interesting. What they say, first of all, it means that uh, the team doesn't have the specialist. That means there are no spatial, or I would say specialized employees or skilled members. That means, okay, I specialize only in .NET, I specialize only in scripting, I specialize only in designing. No, everyone knows, I would say, some or the other of all the things. Whereas there are no generalists. Now, generalist also kind of means opposite of specialist. That means it's not that you would know everything of every technology. Okay, so it means you will have one or two or maybe more core expertise. Like for example, if somebody asks you, "What is your favorite subject?" Okay, may I ask you guys what is your favorite subject? All of you, yeah. Please unmute and tell me. Then you'll have a better idea. What was your favorite subject in school, guys?
Biology.
Assumingly, biology, interesting,
Biology.
Math,
yes.
math,
Maths, yes.
Biology.
Arts.
Arts, okay.
Math.
Maths, very nice. Someone said maths, very nice, superb. Yes, and all of you have answered. Okay, so even if you like that subject, did you only study that subject, or you had to study all the subjects in
Study all the
school?
All the
subjects.
subjects.
All right, but then you always had like a favorite or second favorite. Like for me, it was always algebra and Sanskrit and languages, honestly. And then on the contrary, I didn't like history and civics. I mean, history still fine, but civics, I don't know. I just never understood the concept of having that subject for 25 marks during our school time. So, but still we studied all. So here, that's what we are trying to say. Though we have our speciality, but that doesn't mean we only work on that, as well as it's not like school that you might have to work on everything. You will be working on the assigned task as per your expertise. Makes sense, guys? Easy to understand. Any doubt in this? Specialist and generalist? Yes, no?
No.
No.
Yep, perfect. The last sentence is that it has a mix of people who has knowledge in different areas, and now this is quite interesting. That's why this team is so unique and so I would say interesting and so productive. What we say that we have people who have mix of knowledge from different areas, from multiple areas, and then who are willing to help each other in other areas, right? So tomorrow, if we have a project, like if we have a school project and we realize, okay, there's something required in art, something required in math, then you guys will help each other, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So that is what we are saying about this team. Yeah. Any doubts in this, guys? See, this is why it is a blend of perfectly I would say no, sir. It is a blend of perfectly what is the correct word for this? Matching a skill set that they kind of complement each other. Make sense? So tomorrow, if we have a project or if we have a school project, all of you, assumingly you had mentioned different subjects, will complement each other. Like for example, if some arts related something, some work is there, you're like, okay, she's good in that, she can take it up. Or some maths queries there, then somebody else can take it up, right? So yes, now how do they actually implement all these, right? So can we go one by one, 5 lines, 5 different people? Yeah.
Cross-functional teams can be viewed
The
as
team
a team of cross-functional individuals with different functional and domain expertise.
Yes.
For
Now we
example,
all let 1 second. Let's go one line by line, please. So it simply means that okay, we know that they have different functional and like they have different domain language. Sorry, domain knowledge as well as they have different skills. Okay. So you might like maths and you also have, I would say, domain knowledge of any particular geometry or algebra, type of maybe some study background. So in agile it can be okay, you are a technical person, you are a developer, you have .NET knowledge and you also know scripting, so you can help on that part. Or you have database knowledge, you have been a database instructor or administrator and you work on database connection and ensuring the data is flowing safely. So that way, right? Next point please. Let's go line by line. Okay, easy to understand. Yeah, next point.
For example, if one effort is weakening a sprint cycle, then in a cross team, members with stronger skills can associate and work with other team members to complete the sprint on time.
Absolutely right. So this is going back to the example when I as an employee was not available in office to complete and work on to complete my work and to finish the sprint. That time my other team members took over and they helped me, or they I would say they ensured that the overall deliverables are not affected. They offered to help and assist in completing the work. Make sense, everyone? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
People who are on continuous mute, guys, I don't want to take your names, but yeah, I hope you're there, you're listening and you're understanding. Yeah. Next point, please.
a cross-functional team should be able to self-organize and keep a continuous flow of features after every sprint.
Yes. So the first sentence we understand, first part of the sentence, that they should be able to self-organize them. They should know what to work on when. And then important part is they also should keep a continuous flow of features after every sprint. That means there should be delivery of continuous work. Or features means functionality, okay, for your understanding. So there should be continuous flow of functionality from this team. There should not be a scenario that okay, they are not able to deliver or they have not completed, yeah, any work. So that is, see, I don't know how to put into words, but sadly, the entire world or professional setup or even on personal grounds, we only focus on the results. Nobody would come and ask you for your efforts. Trust me, on personal grounds, I really find it very weird that nobody, looks at your effort. Like, somebody might have studied a lot, but they have got lesser marks. But then it is the way judgment is done. They look at the final result, so it is not only what all efforts you put in but what is the result. Okay, so result is we are ensuring that they are completing their work for every sprint regularly. Yeah. Next point please, guys.
Encouraging employees to become cross-functional individuals create workforce flexibility.
Yes, so basically what they say, I have done that when I was a part of one of the MNCs in my earlier days of career. So basically what you do, as we were mentioning, that if somebody likes maths, and then take that person and kind of teach them science also. So tomorrow if in your project you have requirement for any scientific work or science related activities, you can hire that person because that person has been cross skilled for science. Got it? So it's like, I'm not giving example of technical expertise, but then try to get the understanding. Same way, if you have any particular technical knowledge or functional knowledge or domain knowledge, you can add on additional different knowledge. And then as a resource, you can work on both the things as required. Yeah. Last point, guys.
Expertise in one area and shallow experience across the board help in lowering defects and speed up cycle time.
Yes. So what we are saying here, expertise in one area and shallow experience across the board. That means, in a way, you're uh, jack of master of one and jack of one, reverse. So that means you have your own personal, I would say, what we put into words, primary skill. The word is primary skill. It can be technical, it can be functional, it can be domain. That's your primary skill. But then that doesn't mean you only know that. You are also aware of other skills to on a shallow level. Shallow level means it's not in-depth knowledge, it's not expertise level, but then yes, you are aware. So tomorrow if you're facing any issue or if you have a discussion and implement something, you would contribute. We are not saying you have to do it, but you would contribute. Yes or no? Any doubts on this, guys? Yes.
Yes.
Easy to understand. Yeah. Super. Thank you so much. Okay, return this. Okay. Sorry. So how does it help? Now there are some keywords and they're kind of easy to understand. Let's go one by one. So 7 keywords are mentioned. Just go ahead. We'll go one by one.
Use of
How does
cross-functional teams reduces
Mhm,
7 kinds of waste.
mhm. Yeah.
Delays.
So now we are discussing about waste. Okay. Now, what you're saying, why we are like, why is this important? So, practical point of view, it is extremely important to avoid waste. Wastes can be in this, given format. We'll discuss them in detail. That means while working and while implementing or while, working towards achieving the sprint goal, we need to ensure that we are not, I would say, contributing to any waste. That means, I mean, that's a funny example. It's coming in my mind. Like, but when as a kid you were helping your mom or your father in the kitchen, and then you were trying to peel the potatoes, right? Just very simple example. And then what did they say? Don't waste it. Don't scrape the potato. Just scrape the peel. Or do you say that to your kids if they're trying to help you? Yes or no? Very, very simple example. Peeling the potatoes, we're ensuring that we are only scraping the peel and not the potato. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes or no? Why?
Yeah.
Because we don't want wastage, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's such a simple example, but then it has an importance. Same way in organization, while doing work, we are ensuring that there should not be any wastage. Wastage are in the form of the next 7 points. Let's go one by one. The first point is delays. Okay, delays. We all know that your delivery is delayed. There is no on-time delivery. It is not available to give to the customer, and then it's a wastage of time, wastage of energy from everybody's side. Yes. Next point is defects. Now, defects, everybody knows that even after working on, functionalities or working as per the client requirement, there are, sorry, there are some issues in your work. There are defects. So when we kind of return, say, for example, if you're ordering something on Amazon and that product that you had asked, like, for example, maybe you have ordered for a chair, okay? Chair as in, the chair that we sit in office, that kind of comfortable chair for you to work. So that chair has come, but that chair is like, it is like broken, it has some defect, right? So you return that. So same way, if you are working on any functionality, working on any website or mobile application and it has defect, the customer won't accept it, right? Will you as a customer accept a defected work or defected application? I
No.
need to know. No?
No.
Why? Because you did not sign up for that, right? You did not pay for the defect. You have paid or you have invested for the correct or proper application. So yes, defects are highly and they should be avoided. Next is partially done work. We all know half-baked cakes are not welcome by anyone. So ensure that you are not wasting your time in doing partial work. That needs to be completed. Next, paperwork. So by the way, it's a trick question also. If I ask you, tell me right or wrong, or tell me true or false, there is no paperwork in Agile. Yes or no, or true or false. There is no paperwork involved in Agile or Scrum methodology. What should be your answer?
True.
Tell me. Mm-hmm.
False.
Okay. One false. What about others?
Uh, remember we learned that uh, there's something about that we have to have a working software over
Mm-hmm.
compile the
Yes.
comprehensive documentation. But then how would you
Wow.
communicate?
Perfect.
There has to be, to communicate, you need to have some sort of paperwork.
Yes. So very,
Uh,
very rightly supported argument, I would say perfect evidence to support the argument. So the answer to this question is that there is no paperwork in Agile. The answer is false. It's not true. There is paperwork, but then that is kept to minimum to ensure that we have everything that is required on paper and we are not wasting too much of time in this process of doing documentation. Everybody is with me on this?
Yes.
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 Yes, yes. And by the way, trust me, this is a trick question. Okay, you might get this. They might ask you in the question. You might get asked this question that okay, there is no paperwork in Agile, so you can politely say, no, this is not right. This is not true. There is, but then that paperwork or documentation is kept at minimum for the required documents and the team does not waste. You can actually use this word. Team does not waste their time in this activity a lot because it is in the form of wastage mentioned in Agile. Yeah. So that's why you kind of avoid this by focusing on the specific paperwork. Next is task switching. Now we all know task switching has their own advantage and disadvantage. Honestly, disadvantage is more like, for example, if you are working, like if you are per se painting your house, for example, okay, if you're painting your house, I know abroad many people do on their own as well. So you're painting your house and somehow for some emergency, for some internal, some work, you had to leave it and you have to hand it over to maybe your friend or to your spouse if they are not available or if they were not aware of the color scheme. You know what efforts you'll have to put into to explain to them that what this is the plan for this wall, this color, this is the strokes I'm looking at, this is the pattern I'm looking at, right? Do you have to give this handover or this knowledge to them? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then when they start working, I mean, there is a slight chance that their productivity or their work might not be as good and as same as yours. Yes. And when you come back, you might have to rework on that. I'm saying might. That does not mean every time. So do you see the efforts, additional efforts? First of all, while leaving, you'll have to tell them that, okay, I'm doing this pattern and this shade, and this is how you have to mix it and do like this. So do you see the efforts required in task switching? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that we want to avoid, that we don't want to indulge in. Next is handoffs. Again, it's also similar that you're handing over your work to somebody and just leaving. You're not even coming back. So in that scenario, we are not sure that the work would be done with the same quality and with the same precision and with the I would say same output. Yes, yes or no? So it basically means you are handling over your work to somebody, and then that that transfer of, I would say, knowledge, or transfer of that uh, work, or transfer of that activity might not be as useful, and it can result in delay. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. See, you would prefer to complete your own specialized work, or your own specialized skilled deliverables on your own, right? Because you, as a person, you as a resource, are specialized in that. It's like it's your baby. But then, in some scenario, if you're not able to complete it and you give it to someone, there are chances they might not do justice to that work as the way you were doing, because simply that person is not you. It's like, if you are a good painter and you get a substitute, there are bright chances that other person might not be as good or similar to you. So that's why handoffs are also a wastage. And then last but not the least, trust me, that means, and I have personally seen this, that's why I would like to highlight extra feature. That means giving something extra that the client has not asked for. Okay. And you might say, why would anybody do this? Why would they want to give extra feature when there are so strict timelines happening and stuff like that? But then I have come across team members who are so passionate, and who are so, I would say, they are so involved in the flow, they are so involved in the overall development process, that without even them realizing, they can give extra feature. Like, and this that happened with my team. They were really young developers, and very into and very excited to work on projects and stuff like that. And then while we're working on a website, we realized that they had given some additional function, additional link to some extra page or additional button. I'm not sure exactly what functionality, but that was definitely not as per plan. And then I just, as a manager, I just questioned them that, hey guys, why are we working on this? And they're like, no, this is, this will be good. They can fetch this report, they can look at this view. And we're like, we just took a step back, and we mentioned that it was not asked, first of all, right? So whatever is not asked by the customer should not be worked upon. Is it easy to understand? Yes. Is it practical? Because you are investing your time in something that is not even required, and you're spending your efforts, time, energy. You get it? So that's why extra feature is mentioned as delays. Yeah. Any doubt in this, guys?
Yeah. Wait, now,
Yeah.
can I come back? Okay,
Mhm.
can I get back? So,
Yeah.
I think 3-4 sessions ago, you did discuss and you did say that extra feature is always an advantage for customer to be happy. So, wouldn't it enhance the quality
Okay.
of the product? I mean, it's a touch and
Okay.
go. It could also mess up, put a lot of burden on the team because it will mess
Okay.
up the sprint goal
So
as well.
yeah, you do have a valid point. I had mentioned, and then I'm not sure I mentioned that they are also called as free cookies or brownie points. Okay. But then there is a limit to it. If you know that the customer would be happy and with that extra feature and it goes with their requirement, then definitely from the now this is a tricky situation. Okay, try to understand. It's always depends on situation. It always depends on customer. It also depends on your relationship with the customer. Okay, if it is a new customer or if it is a customer who is quite open to ideas, and they are, or it's an old customer, you have a good relationship, that time developing or providing something that is required by them but that is not asked and you feel that can help them, definitely we can incorporate. And by the way, this also requires a discussion. Okay, it's not that you would do something on your own, and but then just a heads up to them would be good. If that is useful, they'll be more than happy. But many a times, as developers are in their own world, in their own zone, they work on something that is not even required by the customer. Now, do you see the difference? Giving something that the customer has not asked for, but it is useful for them, will give you brownie points. But working on something that is not asked by the customer, neither it is useful by the customer, will give you wastage. Does this answer your question?
Got it. Now that makes much more
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. So it's like it's like if somebody is eating cake and you give them cream, they'll be happy. But if if somebody is eating cake and you give them maybe a piece of plain bread or something weird to go up with that, they're like, I don't need that. Why would you give me
Give,
that? So
give
it's a
chili
weird
flakes.
weird combination. Yeah, you give them chili flakes. They're like, "Are you okay, dude?" So yeah, something like that. So yes, I'm glad you asked this question, but this is how it goes. And I see we are almost past the time. So yeah, Gaurav, I think we should take a pause here. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Gaurav, are you there? Yeah, over to you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for your involvement. Yeah, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, so this is time for a quick attendance. How you can do that? Go to your WhatsApp group, put your name in front and just one word, and that will suffice. That what do you feel like saying? But understand. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye bye. Good night.
Thank you guys. Good night. Take care. Bye. Good
Good
night.
night.
Bye bye.
Garo, can I
Night.
ask you something for a minute?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Stay
Can
back.
I- Yeah, it's about RRRP session. I just have a question.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I know you mentioned earlier that if you are from non-technical background and if you recently joined, you could wait to attend the session. So now I'm on my ninth BA training class, but I haven't completed all the skills. So I haven't even worked on my resume yet. Like I haven't even looked at it because I want to first develop my skills, learn more about it, then I want to get into resume preparation. So what do you advise? Like, is it right time for me to get into the session and learn more about the stuff, or I should wait until I finish my entire class or my training?
You can wait for, I believe, that more 3 sessions, and then you should be good to go and
Okay,
participate into RRP session. Yeah.
sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Okay, all right. Don't forget to give your attendance, everyone. Please go ahead and do that in WhatsApp group. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care, everyone.
Thank you guys. Bye. Good night. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.